Yes. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Mr. Bello of Leno Mark. We've been doing a series of video on self-care with focus on mind and emotions. And this is the fourth week, and we'll be running up today. But then, let's just have a quick recap of what we did in the last 3 weeks. The first video was more of how to take control, or if I can put it this way, the four different videos would can be given mnemonics as the 4 R's, so as to be able to remember. The 4 R's, meaning the first one is reflect. The topic of the videos might actually vary, but to make it easy to remember, so that's why I'm talking about the mnemonics, so as not to confuse you. So the first one, add more focus on inflection. Reflect basically on what your situation level is, what the stress you are experiencing at the moment is all about. Could it be in your relationship, be it marriage, parenting, or with friends, with family, and with families, or at work, or with your employees or employers. They are all forms of relationships. Could it be the issue is on finance? Whatever it is also very important to remove yourself from it, as find it is a whatever anyone is going through at any point in time could be challenging, because it all depends on how it affects you, not or not how people think you should be affected, because you are the one in it. You actually know how well you are being affected by it. But one thing is key: when you're able to take control of how you want to approach the situation you are in, or the kind of circumstances you are actually facing, it helps you to understand better what the different events you are experiencing are all about, what the cause, or what could be the foundation of the issue is. It is not about the most important is to go um, within, as to asking yourself certain questions on what or on why you are here, and on the things that you could actually learn from, because the experience it should be more of what you can learn from, not what you want to start feeling guilty about, or blaming yourself, because um, at this point you will need to remove the blame game or the guilt, because blaming and guilt are not actually um, productive, if I must say, because it wouldn't lead you anywhere. And like one and the quotes them, Bob Proctor said that I am responsible for my life, for my feelings, and every result I get. So you have the choice to choose the kind of emotions you want to feel, because of course at that point in time we all know that only you understand what you're experiencing, not what anybody thinks or what others think you should feel. But what is most important is you taking control to think through it, why you are here and how you actually got it. And of course, it will help you to have a better clarity rather than seeing yourself as a victim. Then the second point we raised was reconnect. Yes, reconnect as to um, uh, getting to to your subconscious, meaning how do you reconnect with yourself by understanding your mind, your thinking, your beliefs around the results you actually getting now. For for example, if you are the experience is actually unique to you, and we actually cited different examples on how that helps you to have a better understanding of the kind of beliefs you might have wrapped around certain things, and that would also be the uh, effect, the result you actually get, because there is always law of cause and effect. The things you've allowed, the foundation you have laid, the limitations and boundaries you did not set. So such things would help you to know how best to approach things when next you encounter such events or experiences. And of course, it is not about you discovering that, oh yes, this is the cause of my issue. No, yes, you can actually get the call, but it is not, even if it is like now. I know a lot of time we have relationship issues at any level, because I know relationship is a big deal since we are social beings. But one thing is important. Yes, you might at any point in time you might experience pain, hurt, disappointment, or you've raised your bar high in terms of expectations of other people. But yes, it could have been. But one thing that I have learned along the way is everything isn't everything in the end is not about the other person. It is all about you and how you want to and how you decide or how you choose to see it is what would help you in the long run. Because of course, even though you you you're able to get clearly what the issue is, or that in the true sense of it you were actually wronged, but at that point when you're thinking through it, you won't put yourself in that mode that, oh, shame, I'm a victim. Yes, because we all want to see how to live above the kind of pain or trauma or experiences that we have. That is the rationale behind you learning from it, and you also trying to go um, in to understand the kind of beliefs you've wrapped around them and how to um, get better perspectives, and not just saying it from the victim point of view. That's actually where I'm getting to, and because it could have been what you attracted to yourself from your belief, because the unconscious mind is powerful. So when you start from there, it helps to see the possibilities of how things can really be, because you had a bad experience with one person doesn't mean you won't enjoy other good relationships with other people, and it doesn't mean that maybe because someone went through divorce, because it's also a form of relationship, that you wouldn't find love or enjoy love. Everything just boils down to if you've been able to understand yourself as regards all of these things, and you are able to live above it. And of course that would also help you if also even in re, re, reality, the trauma, hurt, pain that you actually went through was caused by someone else in the in the obvious sense. It will be easy for you to learn to go through it by by healing process. Even when people seem that that you should that um it is all about forgive and um, forget. Forgiveness is a great thing in healing process, because indeed forgiveness is a healing process. But I know that different aspects or the way people say it. Forgiveness is not for the other person. Forgiveness is for you. And it is also important that you allow yourself to heal through it. It could be a stepwise process. It could, because sometimes even though you are going through a healing process around a particular experience, there could also be another repeat, and there may not even be. The point I'm actually trying to bring out from this is the person going through it only knows how best and how well the person has been able to get better through it. Forgiveness isn't a forced thing. It's not by expectation of others or what anybody thinks. It is a healing process. The time it takes for you to heal depends on you. Yes, the basic understanding, because um, where science meets spirituality, forgiveness in science is a big thing. Forgiveness also in spirituality and religion is also a big thing. But one thing is sure, you take your time through it, because the healing has to be grounding, not because someone or people expect it should be this way. Why is that? Because I have found out that the mistake we make is sometimes instead of us to talk through things, analyze it, and then get a better um, understanding, so that all the parties involved will be able to learn from it, not sit on situations and allow it to degenerate. But the most important thing is forgiveness is a healing process that is for you, not for the other person, because that is also showing that there is a level of growth mindset. Resentment, talking about a pain, is not the same thing as revenge or resentment, because guilt and resentment, like I always say, you don't need to start to blame yourself or feel guilty. And also not working on yourself to let go and heal through it is also dangerous, because guilt and resentment, they are two dangerous emotions that do not give good results. Then the third point we raised was rejoice. So we talked about the first R, reflect. The second, reconnect. Then the third one, rejoice. Rejoice may we're trying to talk about how to create your happy, that even when you're going through a kind of distress, the different emotions, excuse me, that would come because of the pains of the hurt you are going through. Yes, it is okay, because you have to feel the emotions. Like I said, it isn't good to just sit on things and, oh, because someone feels this is how it should be, it doesn't end well. The result is not good. So it's always good for you to go through the healing process, through forgiveness, through therapies. And yes, I must say something here before I go, or I can delay to the fourth one. The issue of trying to create your happy. Like I said earlier in that video, being happy isn't like, all right, every time will be rosy straight, because roses also do have thorns, but they still glow and serve their and the rose still serve its purpose anytime. So what is important is that your ability to be able to live or to rise above your challenges. Yes, there are some are uh, that are not within your control. Yes, that is when we speak about when you have the right people or support, they'll be able to help you. But yes, even though if anybody is trying to help you, they are only responsible to you, not responsible for you. They are the only one that is responsible for yourself. So you would need to learn to rise above it, and those would come with you learning the skills and understanding of your own personality too. So when you are going through such emotions, you can also help yourself through. At that point in time, it could be a temporary help at that point in time to help you taper the emotions till you get a lasting solution. And that was when we spoke about you trying to find good experiences that can help you be in a good state that you would love to be in. And because sometimes the emotions dampen your spirits and also zaps your uh, energy. So you can actually choose to put yourself in a state that you would love to be in, like a positive state, being thinking through the good experiences you have enjoyed, or positive things that are happening in your life at this moment, which are things you're happy about, things you're excited about, things you are grateful for in your life in that at that point in time. And that would help you to also enjoy the benefits of positive emotions that actually come with them, and that helps you to show gratitude the more. And of course, alhamdulillah, as Muslims, we know that each time it's like a reminder to ourselves that uh, one, Allah will not change the condition, except they change the condition of the sin. So that is when your um, being in control of your choice comes in, and also the fact that you will not be um, left to yourself. You'll be tried, and of course, after every difficulty, um, every difficulty comes ease. So with all of those reminders from the book, because the Quran itself is a book for healing, so all of those would all of those reminders would also help you to know that whatever you're going through now is with time. It is not forever, and Allah has promised is so. And that will bring us to the next to the video for today. Um, uh, Reflect, reconnect, rejoice, and today is a respond in terms of responsibility. You need to learn to to choose to be responsible for you, because that choice is the only thing that can make you to win. So you need to choose to win. So for you to choose to win, it shows that you would need to help yourself through this presentation by finding a lasting solution. And of course, the lasting solution doesn't mean just going to a place and that is where the solution is. It takes consideration of the different needs for that particular event. Let me give an example. Um, if you're ill, the first thing that comes to mind is to go to see doctor. I could relate with an experience I had. I think the last video I spoke about me experiencing chronic fatigue that wasn't a funny experience. Don't ask me why would I go through that, even though at least you're a medical person. We go through a lot of things in life that we can only tell ourselves that yes, I'm here. I just need to move. And Alhamdulillah, I was able to rise above it. That particular experience, the issue was more of one event leading to another. It actually happened around the time where I was going through a lot of frustrations. I had left my work. I was a stay-at-home mom. I was trying to do things alongside so that at least while because I actually love um, independence to an extent because my husband travels a lot, and of course I'm this kind of from my background, because I know there are lots of beliefs that had been wrapped around that when I did a lot of therapy afterward with my exposure with NLP. So back to the story. I and I was like, when he's not around, as a woman, you should be able to be in charge of the home conveniently and without any issues, especially when you have emergencies and all of that. So while trying to, I stumbled on an online program that I was trying to do and all of that. Fast forward while trying to get through that, and of course, sometimes we might have a means, but we might not be ready. Why did I say that? When I was trying to do the trainings and it will actually take a while, you know, as a starter. That was my first exposure. I was trying to take my time to understand it, and because trainings are not since it's not a live event, it's an online training. You take your time and um, while you go through it. It was during that time that I lost my dad, and that before I lost him, we were trying to move homes, and you know, moving home is is a stress. It's a form of stress on its own. As in, it could be overwhelming. And that particular one was indeed overwhelming, even though it is not somewhere far from home. But fast forward during the process, few days to moving, I lost my dad. And with the different issues surrounding it, because he died a Christian, and a lot of um, how will I say it? Um, expectations of how expectations around the modalities of burial and all that, and being the closest to him, the most of the things that should be done were excuse me, needed to be carried out by me, both physically, mentally, and it was draining. Yeah, it was draining. And for me, everybody felt okay. I was very strong because I was doing so many things at the same time. I didn't have a house help, so a lot of time I needed to carry my children around too. And at the point in time, support, a medical doctor, a friend came down to stay with them at some point when I needed to um, complete the go for the burial arrangements, burial preparation, getting the site will be buried, and lots of running around. And to make it, don't let me say to make it worse, also family issues, because it was a former politician and different things came up that then I needed to be involved as witness and all of that. So, and also going to House of Assembly for expectations from the state and all of that. So I was physically drained, running around, going for running between his friends out for a meeting to House of Assembly to going to prepare his burial ground site and all of that. But that, unfortunately, that was the least of, of the issue, because I was going through more of an emotional stress that was overbearing, while everybody felt okay, yeah, it is just this period, it'll be stressful, afterwards you'll be okay. Which is why please don't underestimate how people get affected with situations that they're experiencing. I almost lost it, because to me, and unfortunately also around that time, one of my sisters, one of my one of my sisters in-law that was staying with me put to bed. I had a twin pregnancy that she lost too. Phone number, trying to get to, all around, sorting out and all of that. And I also had my issues to sort out, so I couldn't go and all of that. So there were now so many things on you, everybody expecting you to deliver. Meanwhile, the more of the things that I was going through at that point in time, that no one could even see or feel, apart from the fact that I lost so much weight. It was more of the fact that I lost my dad, I was the closest to him. The grief was more than just the way it was like grief, but the fact that he died a Christian was even a form of emotional stress for me that no one could see. And the fact that most of the expectations to be done for him, of course, would be the normal Christian burial and all of that, elaborate partying, Lagosians and all of that. And because I was the closest to him, I had to do a lot of things. I had to be involved in a lot of things. I was the only one that knew his personal lawyer, all of so many things, so many delivery and all of that. So to just cut it short, it was after then that I felt okay, I should go on with my course. I couldn't till date. I couldn't. And why was that? After then, for several months, everybody felt okay. At least now I could take care of my health, go to the hospital. But you know what? Every test carried by all the doctors revealed nothing, aside the fact that reviewing my lifestyle and all of that. I get referred to different specialists, nothing. I browsed, I checked online even as a medical doctor. That okay, all of the different symptoms I've been experiencing, okay, aside from grief, and if we're not careful, grief, there's a thin line between grief and depression. So I decided to browse and, of course, remind myself, but no, your feelings, your experiences are yours, and how you deal with it. Sometimes you can't also even help yourself through. That is why I keep on to talk about support, don't overemphasize. And with that, different appointments, each time I have to go, nothing. And I was still so down. Meanwhile, I was at level 3 stress. That's when we say that your adrenal could actually shut down and all of that. And the ophthalmologist that actually saw me, I said, okay, that maybe um, they should also check my eyes because of headaches and all of that. So I said that they can't get anything, and she was one that now said to ask me about my lifestyle, my diet, my nutrition. So I was very, when it comes to diet, I knew I was very bad with meals. I don't really eat so much, but I do loads of work, and that now eroded the interview into other aspects of life, and so that okay, at this point in time, these are the things I'm experiencing and all of that. We just moved house, I lost my dad, blah blah, all the different downloads of things. I said, okay, you know what? Just take your time. Just take time off. No drugs, all tests, nothing. And at that point in time was when I had to spend loads of time on the internet, just spending time. Because then, remember, I had resigned and I was trying to see what I could do on the side while sorting out the home front. And that for me wasn't even it. I just needed to get myself out, and I was able to now learn okay coping skills, and also how how I actually stumbled on different trainings, learnings online. It was that particular experience and the journey on different Google searches online that actually led me to get a lot of knowledge, self awareness, and my personal growth was improved to an extent. And that was what bore what I do today, and that was what led to Leno Mark. Yeah. So the point I'm actually trying to raise is that in anything, in any situation you're in, there's a limit anybody can do for you. Yes, it can be really um, distressing, yeah, but for whatever journey you have to take, a whole lot, 80% of the work is done by you, 20% will be from the support. Yeah, and you know what? The effort you put in to now get 80% of the result will just be 20%. Why would I say we are using the 80%, 80-20 rule? Reason is because 80% when I said it will be done by you is because every effort, every action, every commitment that needs to be made to arrive or to get the result of whatever solution that is given will be done by you. And that brings us to the to what I want to talk about. I will also put that one in a mnemonic form to make it easy. I'll call it the 4S. The 4S meaning these are the steps you could use as forms of self therapy even um, before you get to the source of how to get the solution. Like now you're ill, you have to go to the hospital, you have to get support, like someone that actually came to help me stay with the kids. The, all the times I was doing running around, I had a driver that was taking me around, even though I wasn't driving because I could not even drive. Yeah, it was that bad. I couldn't drive in that condition. So the level of support at different points in time would be there. You can't overemphasize. But the major work to get the lasting change, the results that would help you, that will free you from that distress to a level of lesser stress. Because yeah, we must be sincere with ourselves. Life is filled with different trials in different areas of life at each point in time. But the stress has to be one that will be at par with your mental wellness, with your mind, with your emotions. And of course, when you be able to build yourself to rise above the situation, that is when you say you have true freedom. So you need to choose to win to have true freedom. So the first S will be self knowledge. Self knowledge in terms of trying to learn about yourself, about who you are, about your identity, about your personality. Because see, this is from my own learning, this is what I have learned, and that is one great help for me because I know, like I said earlier on, every step you take is for you, not for any other person. If someone else is involved in the experience you have, when you understand your personality, and it's life is very funny. Let's use a case scenario so that you would understand where I'm actually driving at. Understanding your personality helps you to know your own strengths, your own weaknesses, your own how what your own limitations are and boundaries are. And by that, we are also able to move further to learn about other people's personalities, their own limitations and boundaries. There will be there will be limited conflict because that is the source of most relationship breakdown. Sincerely, because there are conflicts between beliefs and values, and when there is no or there is an imbalance, it tends to affect relationships negatively. Look at the issues of marriage, husband and wife relationship, and people are having issues. In most times, you say that yeah, we don't have any. Nobody has a perfect personality because any perfect uh, person out there, raise your hand. None. That I am sure of. But the fact that someone understands me, respects my limitations and boundaries as a person, and our values are not clashing, it makes the relationship long lasting. And even when there are issues, and we learn to help ourselves with communication, because also when there's communication breakdown, you won't be able to learn what aligns with the other in that particular situation, and that also can result in conflict. So the personalities, like me, I always say, my personality is a lover. I I give with the whole of my being. Yeah, and I'm not shy to say that. And and I also have a level of sage in me. Yeah, and a good one at that. But because the different personality types have the dark and the light side, um, we you always find out that a lover might have a light side, but if married to a warrior that shows his dark side, what would happen? That is the result of codependent relationship. You see that there is, but you know what? Since we said everybody is good in his or her own right, what is the common thing here? One person is good, the other person is equally good, because you'll be shocked that when, like, we'll say someone divorced because she was abused and all of that, you'll be shocked that he could marry someone else and they will be married for years. And the other woman too can marry someone else and will be married for years. Have you ever thought that, and has anybody thought that because the relationship between the two didn't go well, if each goes into another relationship, it wouldn't go? No. The common thing is just that the two of them are not just the right fits. Each person in any relationship, in friendship, in marital relationship, in boss employee relationship, everybody is good on their own part. Their strengths and weaknesses. One's strength might just be colliding with another person's weaknesses, and the fact remains that they're not just good fits. Because you'll be shocked that when they have relationships with other people, they could have a good and enjoyable one. So nobody is bad. Everybody is good in his or her own right. So understanding yourself, your personality type, your limitations and boundaries, and also trying to study others, the limitations and boundaries, it will help you not as someone thinks you should. The second S is self-expression, and that will, I want to put different things under it, and your self-worth, self-esteem, because that is what gives you your inner strength, and when you and helps you through your self-confidence, and all of that are the elements of what would help you heal, because there are forms of therapy in a way. When you learn to know about yourself, that step would help you to know how to avoid going beyond some boundaries that can cause conflict. And that would also help the other person too. So if you're responsible for yourself, the other person is responsible for himself or herself, I'm sure it will be really, because we are social beings. It isn't about blaming the other or complaining, but looking at how you yourself matter in this scenario, in this case. Then also, and of course, that would also bring you to self-respect, when you know when you know what the boundaries are, and trying to um, be understand the other one, being aware of the other person, then also self-love. Also doing what you love for yourself, loving yourself for who you are is a form of self therapy, because no one can do that for you. Yeah, we have expectations that my husband should love me, should trust me, blah blah blah. Yeah, we have fantasies while we're children. As a child, you had the fantasies, and yeah, it's good to fantasize, and I still do even to now, because that is what I want. And if I want it so much, the law of the universe, law of attraction, if I can put it, that would attract it to me. The kind of love I want, because yeah, this is something I actually learned in a hard way. Sometimes you want to think, oh, this is what you actually given, and this is what you expect. Unfortunately, it might not be wired in that line, or the way you actually think it should be done might not be the way the other person thinks it should be done. So sometimes communication also, like an experience I had earlier in the day, that I got a message, and it was more of like pointing fingers and all of that, not picking calls and all of that. At first, I just looked at it, and rather than that, I just asked some questions. Unlike before, that I could have been attack and defense. Well, there was no need. I didn't have that energy. I promised myself to learn to use my energy for what serves me. And in the end, from questions led to one other did question and answer segments led to other discussions. And of course, that helped with communication, because that with the questions, I was able to understand his own perspective. And I said, oh, rather than saying either, why don't you rephrase it that I missed you, Abby? The woman is not the only one that is always at fault when it comes to relationship. Rather than all the big dramas, could have just said, I missed you. Say, ah. And the reply was, well, you were right. He said, I don't know. I'm a doctor and I'm a therapist. I have to diagnose first, then now look for the solution. So I spoke of the solution. And in the end, I received a gift. Don't ask me what that is. So that is self-expression. Also, learning, part of the challenge is also learning coping skills when doing uh, coping skills to help yourself daily or as you need during that particular time. And one of them is exercise. Moving your body could be through dance and song. Like in recreational music is a form of therapy. Like when I'm cooking, I sing, I dance. I don't need to have sound bars or around me. I can create my own music, and I dance to it, and I can be there for 5 hours. That is where I want it, because I want to control how my thoughts are coming at that point in time. Because when you're very intuitive, you have a lot of thoughts ruminating through you, and if you are not careful, it should be taking you, and that's I about also learned. So, and for creatives too, note that. And other things you can actually, I think I noticed some things are also hobbies. How to create what how to unleash your creativity, because as a person you always have a creative side. What do you enjoy doing? What kind of hobby do you want to engage in that would that also take your mind um, off through distressing thoughts? Could it be writing, doing heart work? It could be anything. Just look to your creative side and bring it out. Then the third is with spirituality. Your spirituality is a big deal, and that, because we must understand that there are two different things: spirituality and religion. But as Muslims, our spirituality is a big deal. Some people are spiritually high and they're not Muslims, so the spirituality thing is a big deal in Islam. Because remember, when Allah said, "Remember me, and I will remember me, and my servants will be close to me through different things, which are the deeds that He has asked us to, especially with Salat and spirituality Salat." So, if I can pick it from that as, and those are actually speaking to how we can up our spirituality through Salat, spiritual Salat, Tahajjud, and all that, through Quran reflections, like you've been saying. And that, like a friend said, that it's already a lost art. And this is where science meets spirituality, I must tell you. A lot of things now that science is talking about. The Prophet ﷺ has told us years back. You'll be shocked that this issue of intuition, gut feeling, following your gut, that is in reflection. Is also a product of mindfulness. If you do meditation or a lot of reflections, you don't, even if you don't know the heart, like the breathing techniques we did in the third video, how to calm yourself, relax, and also put yourself in state. It can also do it in other aspects of life, doing things and being focused in it. Like you're eating, you can do mindful eating from beginning till you finish the food. When you walk, you can be mindful when you're walking. So there are things that we can do. Yes, I'm not saying that we'll get all of these things 100%, but like I said, habits is a stepwise things, and commitment. Yes, commitment, because when you commit to it stepwise, consistently, that is when you're able to achieve it. Yes, you might fall. I am not a fan of thinking things will be done perfectly at every point that we want to do it. So I always tell people, don't expect it to be easy, and at the same time don't think it is hard, because if you think it is hard. But don't expect it to be easy, and that is just to prepare your mind that whatever you face is just a challenge that will pass away. But when you always remember the intention and the reason behind why you're doing what you're doing, it helps you to move on, to rise after the fall. So, the point I'm actually trying to make is your spirituality can be spread around your daily lives. Salat, dua, they are all as spirituality. And forgiveness, like we said earlier on, when the Prophet ﷺ said that at the end of the day before sleep is a prayer that you seek forgiveness because of our shortcomings and our excesses. And you know what? Also, science reveal how it helps to declutter your mind. So when the Prophet ﷺ was saying it, of course, we want us to have a light heart as we go to sleep. And note, forgiveness is not something that you want to share away when it comes to you going through a journey of healing process. Forgiveness, yes, is istighfar. I want to say forgiveness from Allah and all that. Yeah, you can also use it as okay, you also want to forgive any people that have hurt you. And talking about an incident doesn't mean lack of forgiveness or doesn't mean resentment. They're two different things. The path of forgiveness is a path of growth. A path of resentment is that of a fixed mindset. Because sometimes you we do things because this is what people think it should be or how people think it should be. Yes, we should serve as reminders to ourselves, but we serve as reminders to ourselves with focus around solution. It should be fully solution focused. Then the last one is support. Support. And that support will come from either the solution to what the need is. Like now, you are ill, you have to go to the hospital, get tests done, get medications, and all of that. Or you need to get a coach for your business or a mentor, whatever the case is. Or you need a coach to help you with your personal life. Slide in my DM. You need to get strategy around your personal life stress. When you slide in my DM, you are with your voice. So it could be support when it comes to relationship with your kids or issue around your kids, and you want to get a parenting coach to help you, or it could might not be that, it could be tutor to help you with extra classes because of me. It could be anything. So the solution is part of the support you get. Then also the part of your support are the coping skills you want to learn for yourself. Like I said earlier on, communication, yes, you might not always get it right at every point in time, but the fact that you keep working at it, is a law of cause and effect. It doesn't matter how long it takes you. The most important thing, like I said, solution focused. You're working at it and you're focused, your eyes are on the goals. It is not how long it takes someone else to arrive there if you know someone that had a similar case, but how well and the quality of life you enjoy while going through the journey. Because the quality of life we experience also affects the kind of frustrations, emotional triggers, and all what sort that you experience. So the other coping skill, apart from there are life skills, apart from communication, is also emotional intelligence. Being uh, aware of your own feelings and those of others, as well as social awareness when it affects several other people. Yes, you might not get it 100%. But when you learn it, you practice it. Nobody is saying, like I always say, it is not a 360 degrees change. Stepwise. And you know what? It is not how someone thinks you should do it or how anybody expects you or think you should. It is what? Are you beating your own records each time? Then skills according to your needs. How to care for your mind, your emotion. Like we said, the theme for the topic is self-care, and those two relate to taking care of yourself, because sometimes when we're going through things, especially for women, you lose yourself, you lose your guard and all of that. And I can tell you really, because I've been through that, I have been there, and I can say to you really how well you'll be shocked that You have really lost yourself. But the work is on you, the focus is on you, and what you need to do is what? How do you help your mind? How do you help your emotion? All the daily skills you need in terms of your managing your emotions, managing other people's emotions. When you fall, you rise. What do you need when it comes to your sanity with yourself, with people around you, with the responsibilities that you are carrying? Learn skills on how to cope. I know this is a long video, and I pray Allah accept this intention, forgive me for any error, hearing, and make it easy for every one of us to rise above every challenge at every point in time and ease our face in all our daily affairs and help us move from distress to distress for those going through one form of challenging life situation or the other. May Allah makes it easy after every hardship, as He has promised. So hope and be grateful that as you are still here, there are better days ahead. So you're in the right course to trust in Allah. Believe. Allah makes it easy. Assalamu alaikum.